Hi, I'm Taylor.
I'm Amy.
I'm Santino.
And I'm Noelle. And who's ready to travel?
Beyond the borders.
Here we will share everything you need to know about studying abroad.
With tips and tricks from students who've been there, done that.
We'll cover it all, packing like a pro, navigating culture shocks, tackling language barriers, and so much more.
Thinking about studying abroad or just want to tag along, follow us on our social media platforms at beyondtheborders.pod so you'll know exactly when we launch and catch all the fun along the way. Welcome to our second episode of Beyond the Borders. We're so excited to have Taz joining us today. Living in Spain, Taz brings firsthand insights and practical tips to help you plan and make the most out of your next adventures.
Thank you, Taz, for being here and coordinating with us across the different time zones.
It is a pleasure to be on your podcast. Thank you for inviting me.
So, as you know, you're from Salamanca, Spain, and you've lived in many countries. What made you decide to move to Spain?
Well, I'm from Greece and I live in Salamanca. I was studying in London, then I moved to southern Spain to do property flipping, and now I'm in Salamanca as events manager at O'Hara's Irish pub. And basically, I love Salamanca for the safety, the walkability, and the fact that you can meet people from all around the world in a pretty small provincial town.
Yeah, I mean, when I was just in Spain for spring break, girls that I were with that hadn't previously been to Salamanca, they were like, this is my favorite. You know, everything's walkable. Everyone's so friendly. So, I mean, if I could easily move to Salamanca, I probably would.
It's a good place to be, because obviously with how the world's going and that the fact that you can walk around and not be bothered or have any issues in the street, it's a nice feeling because you can focus on stuff that working and just enjoying your life without always being a bit paranoid when you go out and not having a time limit.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Now, since you obviously have more time being in Spain, what are kind of your rules that you've kind of realized as you were going through the transportation of everything? Is there anything that you would probably want to have any advice to someone who's new to Spain or just been traveling to Spain?
Well, obviously, it's a great destination to if it's someone's first time abroad from the United States. It's a great introduction to traveling. I'd just say, obviously, in a bigger city, be more aware in the street, but generally be open to I don't know, if you're studying abroad, I don't know, when you go to your local bars, just ask the waiters their names, try to create a rapport, and then obviously most people are friendly, and just try to obviously I think a smile is an international identifier of goodwill. So just go there with an open mind, explore, and just take everything in. I mean, don't and also just stay off social media as much as possible, just so you can just take it all in.
I like that advice. So Taz, as someone that's lived in so many places, what are some cultural differences that you thought were the hardest and the most fun to adapt to?
Spain obviously has some pretty strange, with regards to holiday food. So I'll give you an example.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously in Greece and I'm guessing in the States as well, turkey is the food to have at Christmas. But here in Spain, they go in for the seafood and that. So I've never really seen the connection. But if that's what they do, that's what they do. But it doesn't mean when you go to a country, just pick out the stuff that you like and the stuff that you don't really understand or don't really like, you just don't do it. And another thing they do, which I've never participated in, and all my work colleagues kind of look at me kind of strange, is on midnight on New Year's Eve, on when the clock strikes 12,
Mm-hmm.
they eat 12 grapes. And they always say to me,
so funny.
and basically when I go in after the you start off the New Year's Eve party around I don't know 12:30, that they're all like, oh, did you have your grape? Every year since I've been asked, and I get the strangest looks oh my god, how can you even start the new year without eating grapes? I'm like, well, I'm still alive, I'm still okay, Pablo, relax.
That's actually really funny. We actually also do that here
Yep.
in the US, and you eat like 12 grapes before midnight,
And
before
I think
the
you're
new
supposed
year.
to like sit under the table.
Yeah.
I've never done it, but
I've never done it
Nope,
either,
I
but
haven't
it's
either.
actually so funny that you said that because we also relate to that as well. But it is, I will say it is
I have
unique,
never,
but
I mean, call me ignorant. I have never heard that about the States before, about the 12 grapes. I've never heard, well, you learn something new every day. Thank you
Yep.
for enlightening me.
Yep. No, definitely.
So, as I had already gone to Spain, are there specific items that you recommend buying locally versus bringing from home as someone who's studying abroad?
I would say, obviously, with medication, trust your trusted brands at home, like Tylenol, because you know how your body reacts to certain brands. Obviously, the dosage here could be different. It could be different ingredients in something that you think is the same, but may not be the same. So obviously, bring all your any medication that you need. Um, a lot of study abroad students in the States also say that obviously if they're coming for a longer period, like 3-4 months, they can't bring the whole supply. But if you're coming for about a month, maybe bring your own shampoo, bring an adapter for the power outlet. Make sure obviously you guys have experience of being here. So obviously for the new people that are coming over, give them the right to buy the correct adapter on Amazon. Buy it from Amazon or locally. Don't wait till you get to the airport because the prices are a lot higher at the airport and it may not be the right one. Um, and don't, I mean, if we're talking about the Maymester that High Point University does, May can be okay, but maybe a jacket for the evenings. Obviously, bring that, but obviously leave space in your suitcase because there are plenty of shops, and mainly the girls like going, I don't know, to Zara, Mango for
Yes.
getting the bills there. So, yeah, I mean, you get some good, like the prices are kind of cheaper here because of like they're like it's a Spanish brand, so.
I ended up, well, my suitcase broke on
Oh
the
my
trip,
God,
but I
no.
did end up getting a bigger suitcase because of all the stuff that we had bought. And someone on my trip added a third suitcase to her luggage because she just bought so much stuff. There's
my
so
God.
many like nice stores. There's like 3 Zaras just in the little area,
wow.
Mango, Bershka, so many like fun things. So
my God.
definitely it's important to be mindful of keeping a little room, which I didn't necessarily do, but I really highly recommend bringing a little space to have your.
Yeah, I think I would go broke
Yeah,
if I went to Spain too. I'd go shopping all the time.
Yep. It'd be dangerous.
Yeah.
Another thing I'd recommend, obviously, Salamanca is not not a pretentious city, so you can like just go for comfort. Obviously, if you got like a formal dinner with HPU, but generally just wear like sneakers that are comfortable because you do a lot of walking. So if you have on the cobblestones, and maybe I mean you can buy them here, but just so you have them, and once again so you know what brand you're buying and you're familiar with the brand. Maybe buy a pack of band-aids for your feet or something. Because there was Sarah Zalus who came over as well when you guys were here for one of her friends had to Julia who goes to HBU. She had to like when she arrived in Salamanca for the day trip they did. She had to get a band-aids as well because of so.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's the worst.
yeah.
I know. Also, going back to the adapters, making sure that you're getting the right one for different countries.
Oh,
Because my
yeah.
parents, before they came to visit me at my semester, they went to London and Paris. I forget which one it was, but one of them had a different adapter.
Oh, they don't have the same ones?
Yeah,
Some are different.
the
I
deal-
know Italy,
the deal
Ireland,
is
and Spain, I think,
Oh, okay.
are the
have the
same.
same one, have the same. Then the United Kingdom's totally different. It's like they're bigger plugs. They have like
I didn't know
3
that.
pins. And so basically, if like anyone you know who's coming over or traveling, if they're going to like combine the United Kingdom, which obviously England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, and also the Republic of Ireland, obviously that's a different country, but they have the same kind of electric system. You need a different adapter completely. But if you're just going to be in Spain or Italy, it's like the normal European. If you put like a standard European adapter into Amazon, you should get the right one.
Oh, okay.
And obviously make sure it's enough power for your laptop and for your phone, so it doesn't like. And also if you're going to bring a hairdryer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely not a hairdryer.
definitely.
And I actually brought a steamer because I knew you couldn't bring a hairdryer. And I was like, oh, like a steamer's probably fine. Like my stuff's gonna be wrinkled. I really do not recommend it. Nothing.
No. What happened?
Nothing exploded, but it started to go like really fast. And I was
Oh,
like
no.
scared I was gonna burn my clothes. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna have wrinkled clothes for the month. It's okay.
I mean, it's obviously you could maybe get the hotel if you're going to hotel to help out in that. But if you're here for a month, it's just about enjoying the moment. Don't
Yep.
get I mean, it's nice to have like iron clothes, but if they're not, what doesn't matter. Just like enjoy the moment.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's very true. So Taz, going back to, I know we talked about the 12 grapes, but were there any other like customs or like traditions that surprised you?
Honestly, obviously, this is a controversial one, but I'm really surprised that bullfighting is still a thing here. Like after all the like advocating for like.
Oh my
So,
God, I
but
did
it's
not
such a
know
big
that.
well, I mean, it's not like everywhere on the TV. It's not obviously it's certain. Generally, for the time being, I mean, there are maybe a few younger people who are into it, but the demographic. Let's just say the demographic is the majority demographic that's into that isn't going to be around with 15, 20 years. So, I don't know how long it is going to last, but for the time being, it's still a kind of thing, So it's
Yeah.
kind of
I feel like I
not the best.
remember touring something. We were going up. I don't remember where it was, but I think I did end up seeing like an arena where like the
Really?
bullfighting is. I don't remember
Cool, man.
where I
I think
was.
one of the like day things you did with your professor. That there's a bull ring in Salamanca, so maybe you walked up there somewhere to go past it or something.
Maybe it must have been there, or I think it must have been like the day trip that we did. I don't fully
Wait,
remember.
that's really cool. I did not know that was still a thing. That's why I was like, oh my God, like that's so cool. Okay, now I have to go visit Spain.
Like it's kind of like it gives. Apart from the actual like physical, slaughter, which is not nice. It just gives you an insight into maybe the psychology and the mentality of the people here. So it's not the most appropriate thing to have, but obviously it's such a such a strong element of their culture that you can't really ignore it. I mean, not that you don't have to go to the bull ring and that, but it's just surprising that in the year 2026 in Europe, it's just a thing. It's surprising more than anything.
So, as you know, I have experienced some language barriers while I was there, like the black tea whole situation at the restaurant. For people coming in, what kind of advice would you give them to handle language barriers, especially in Salamanca where they don't speak much English?
I would say, obviously, for people who, because obviously the people who come on the HPU program have no reason to know Spanish because they don't learn Spanish. Unlike people who are here for like 4 months who are like maybe studying education in the States or something and they learn some Spanish. But just like maybe get a few key phrases down. And one of the key phrases I would learn is like, I don't speak Spanish. Do you speak English? Within this, and also be friendly. And I go back to what I said before about like not maybe in a phone store, in a clothes store, but you're going to go there just a few times. But if you go to like a bar or a restaurant that you're going to repeat, just like ask the waiter or the waitress's name. Your name is so important to a person, so maybe they can like kind of like break the what's it called, like an icebreaker kind of deal, and just smile. I mean, you've got to be a pretty hard person not to react like angrily to a smile, but once again, as you know, the Spanish do things differently. So yeah.
Sometimes there were times where I would just smile and nod, and. But I feel like I have to share.
Without knowing what you were nodding to.
Sometimes I remember when we went for spring break and Paige was like, just say "see" and just nod, and
you can't do that. Good Lord!
I feel like I have to share the black tea story now. So we were getting brunch, and one of the girls, we were all ordering our drinks. I got water. My friend Paige got tea, and this girl Caitlin ordered black tea, and she like was really pointing at it, and the girl like seemed very like she totally understand. Like, oh, okay, perfect. And we get all of our drinks, and Paige's tea comes out, but Caitlin's doesn't. And then soon after, Caitlin gets this whole meal, and we're like, what? Like, we didn't even order food yet. And actually, when the waitress left, she was like, is that all? Like, you don't want anything? And we're like, yeah, like, I mean, that's good. Like, we just want drinks for now, whatever. And so we started looking at the menu because we didn't even know what Caitlin ended up getting on the plate. Like, we were like, what is this? And one of the items was called plucky, which could be, if you think of black tea in Spanish, like an accent, like black tea, plucky. So this whole time we were like, I'm so confused. Like, we like couldn't figure it out. And Taz was the one that was like, they probably got it, black tea mixed up with this entree called plucky. And so that's definitely something about a language barrier that we've struggled with. And it's
funny.
honestly funny. But a few things I would say about language barrier is, especially like ordering food or like certain like items, I feel like is pretty easy.
Like
And a lot of
popular
times
ones.
you could just point to it. But I had times where they like knew that we were English, so they're like, "Oh, we have this menu. Like, we'll just give you like the English menu."
Yeah,
We're
like, here, take this.
yeah. So I guess that's one thing. Just be careful to order black tea. That's the only experience
That's actually
we've
really
had
funny.
an issue with.
So now, Taz, I know Taylor was telling me a little bit about the Irish pub that you're working for, their social media. What like have you like been specifically like working on helping them? Is it just like the content page and stuff, or photos itself?
We had this conversation when the girls were here on spring break, and it's basically I even showed because like, I was trying to explain to them like my hours and where everyone else on the roster had like their hours to be physically at the bar. I just have like a hyphen. So it's basically it creating event, publishing events, doing the poster work, and when you're there, just basically, I mean, as Paige and anyone else who's there with you now has been to Spain, they're not the best at customer service. Obviously, America has a culture of like tipping, and obviously people are nice for the tip. But in Spain, it's kind of like, when do I leave my, like, when is like clocking out time? And it's just basically being there to give, because I think the bar industry, more than anything, is you go to a restaurant for the food, to be with the people you're with, but where the bar industry is kind of like an experience. So if you're like, just to basic, I mean, Taylor can explain more because I was working at another bar before I started on October 1st at O'Hara's Irish Pub, and they went back to the other bar, and it certainly according to what they said, it wasn't the same experience. As I've always said, like the hospitality industry is the people that make it, not the actual building or the drinks or the music. It's the how you make people feel is so important in life and in business.
100%.
So I'm there for basically I'd say I'm there for everything and nothing at the same time.
Yeah.
So many people ask me, what do you do? And I'm like, well, the best description is I do everything and nothing at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you also bring like the High Point people here because
Yeah,
you found our
That
Instagrams
was, that was a connection we've been working with, I think, for maybe even pre-pandemic, obviously not counting the 2020, 2021, and then obviously to get the connection back, I just put like posters up around the center of the downtown area, and obviously that worked because obviously everything's so close to each other. The kids came in on the second day. I didn't say we welcome students from High Point University. I just put from the city of High Point to avoid any issues with the university, obviously.
Yeah.
And I mean, but the original group we met through the JMU program because they met them at another bar and they brought them in. So one night, all the JMU kids came in, about like 30 of them brought like 20 HPU kids, and then just the connection went there. Just they had a great time, and one of the kids said, "Look, I'm going to recommend this place. Thank you for your help," and it just went from there. And then, so if we're working with many groups, many universities from the United States, like different students from Europe, you just create a great student community. And then it gives Americans the opportunity to meet people from Europe like when they're studying abroad for longer, not just a month. And
Yeah.
then it just gives more value to their whole study abroad experience, you know?
That's awesome. That's really cool.
And I feel like it was fun to see the other people because like we started like hearing them talk and we're like, oh, you speak English? And then like
Yep.
they're like, oh, like we're from like Clemson, we're from
Yeah.
JMU. And so
Mhm.
that was always like really
Oh,
fun.
that's really fun. I love like meeting when I studied abroad in Australia, and whenever we went to go study abroad, we were there with University of Florida, so it was really cool. We talked to some of them as well. So that was also awesome. I actually do have one question. So going back to like the tipping stuff, this is very random, but in Australia, like you don't tip like you don't tip people, like it's just not a thing that you do. So like I'm just wondering, like, is that also like a common thing like in Spain, like you don't tip people, or like you are like allowed to tip people? No.
You are allowed, there's nothing rules against it, but I just
Mhm.
basically say to the HPU kids and any other, like, obviously to the Europeans, they're kind of like, they're in the same kind of like mode of like maybe tipping, maybe not, but they're not like obsessed by it.
Mhm.
But the Americans, the first days are like, oh my God, I feel so bad. I didn't leave a tip. I'm
Yeah.
like, look,
Yeah.
you're gonna be here in Salamanca and doing weekend trips away to other cities for a whole month. You imagine like the money you could save, like maybe save yourself 200, 300, $400 by not tipping. And it's not, I mean, I'm not nice to people for like expecting a tip at the end. The only thing, as I said many times to Taylor and everyone else who's been here, all I need, if you've had a great experience with us, just put in a good word. That's all we want. I'm not nice for money. I understand that in the States it's a different business culture, but here people do live tips, but they're just because the salaries, no, it's, you're not waiting like for tips to like make ends meet. You know, it just doesn't, doesn't work like that. So why not save yourself $200 or $300 over the month you're here, and without having any issues? You know, buy some nice gifts for the family and friends back home. So why not?
Yeah, when I was in Spain, we didn't tip. When I was in Portugal, we did a little bit. But one thing you will notice when you go to Europe, which I figured out, is since you don't tip, it takes forever to get a check, or like they don't like check on you as much, which is totally fine.
That's the thing. It's like kind of like it's a much less intense. Whereas, for example, in an American restaurant, they want the tip, they want the turnover. It's like they want it's just like a more mechanical. Here, they're just like really laid back to the point of almost being horizontal. It's annoying a lot of times, but just gotta. I mean, one key tip also for people is like just do the siesta thing, like have lunch because the city as it's a provincial city, a lot of the shops shut down. So you got your energy up for the nighttime. There's no need to be that like American mentality of hustle, hustle, hustle. Use your study abroad here in Salamanca, your Maymester, just to take it down a few notches. Take it all in. I don't know, go for a walk. Go and try different restaurants. Just like take the intensity down. I'm not saying don't study, but even the study here is not that intense. So just like enjoy it. Just take it down a few notches, and then when you go back to the States, you can like if you're an intense person, you can take it back up a few notches again,
Yeah, it's definitely kind of enjoyable because in the States, I feel like they rush you or you only have like 2 hours at the restaurant. But in Spain, like you could sit there all day and they like wouldn't tell you to get up.
All
So
right, I seriously need to go to Spain.
Yeah.
I need to book a trip there.
Well, whenever you want. I mean, to Salamanca, but it's smaller than Madrid, smaller than Barcelona. It's by the sea. Another good one is Granada, and also Salamanca. So any help I can give, just ask Taylor to give you my details, and I'll be more than happy to help you out.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you guys so much for listening in. Feel free to follow us on our socials at beyondtheborders.pod. Everyone stay tuned for the second episode launching on Monday.
Thanks for watching.